Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to a special episode of Tier Ranker Fights. This is our Doctor Strange prediction special, and I'll explain why we decided to do this. I'm sure that a lot of you who are the diehard fans are familiar with how crazy this movie is going to be. There's a rumor that that there's going to be more cameos and more things revealed about the future of the MCU than all of the Avengers movies combined. So hopefully that the rumor's true, because I like that idea. I'm not like my dad, who doesn't really he doesn't really like the Doctor Strange movies, because he's like, I prefer like 5 or 6 characters I can actually keep track of instead of people coming from alternate dimensions and like out of portals and stuff. So, but I think that's a fun time. So, but yeah, I'm your host, Jordan Movie Hero Anderson. Welcome. And I'll go ahead and I'll introduce our guests for today. We have joining me Austin Pez. How's it going?
What's up? I'm sleepy and exhausted, and hopefully I'll be more awake for the actual movie than I'll be awake for this, but I'll do my best. Talking about these predictions, so we'll see what happens. But I had fun with the Campia video, but yeah, I wanted him to dive into more characters, which is what we're going to do on this video.
Yeah, it's similar. If anyone saw the one that John Campia did over on his channel, we were inspired by it. We decided to put our own spin on it and to talk about a few more characters. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing here. But we also have joining us. We have Moose Haas. How's it going?
Oh shit! I forgot I was going to be on the show. Well, hey,
yeah,
fellas, how was it?
Shoot.
Happy Sunday.
Yep. We do have a show today. Yeah. But we also have joining us. We have a Cowboy Malcolm in the house. How's it going? Nice.
From Earth 43, I like it. You've designated where you're from. Perfect.
I'll be those that nobody knows where the 43 is reference to.
Yep. 43. Yep. Yeah. But we also have joining us Stephen Shepard. How's it going?
Hey, I am not really. I'm not a comic book reader, but I've seen a lot of the movies. So.
Yeah. We kind of wanted to have, so like me, I'm a diehard comic book fan. I don't have as many comic books as I used to, but I read most of mine through digital comics nowadays, because they get kind of expensive to buy every single issue. But yep, exactly. Yep.
I would like to start, but I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, right. Well, for me, like what actually helped me, I went into an actual comic books shop and I said, so for someone who's just getting into comic books, where would be a good place for me to start? And I did that maybe like about 15, 20 years ago, but they kind of helped me out and they told me some of the best storylines for people just starting out to kind of get into it and stuff. But
yeah. May 7th is apparently called Free Comic Book Day.
Yes.
So I might.
I love Free Comic Book Day.
So I might go and get something.
Yeah. And on our panel too, that's why I kind of picked a lot of you guys. We have the diehards like me, and then we have some of you that are casual fans, and then everywhere in between. So yeah, I thought it.
And then you have the DC guy, which is me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Marvel.
Yep. Austin, for the last time, Bane is not going to show up in Doctor Strange.
How do you know that?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They said damn near anybody from any universe could show up in this movie, so I'm betting Batman shows up 100%.
Yeah. Right. But I think this time I'll explain how it's going to work, because we're doing it a little different than a normal tier ranker fight. So we're going to have the tier ranker chart up for you guys to see it, but we have percentages, so we're just going to rank them from 100%, 75%, 50%, 25%, and 0 as to how likely we think they are to appear in the movie. And we're just going to go in order, so we're not going to do the usual taking turns to pick. Because we have so many that we got to get through. We want to do it quickly here, so we're going to fly through them, and we're just going to go in order as they're listed. I had them all in a certain order based on my notes on my computer. Then I threw them into the tier ranker chart, and they all just like randomize it. So we're gonna be all over the place, kind of. We're gonna be like talking about a certain franchise and then another one, and then going back to it because that's just the way that they're gonna show up here. So we have that, and then also how we decide where it's gonna land is usually we average it out. But today we're gonna be doing the majority rules. So like if the majority of us vote for 100%, then it's gonna land in 100%. If it the majority of us.
But there's 5 of us. What if we each say a different one of the 5 percentages?
We each say one. I mean, we can go over to the chat, see if we get any tiebreakers. We can do that if we have to. I mean, or if we can't decide, we'll just stick it right in 50. So that might be a good way to average it out. So yeah, but yeah, with that, that's basically how it's going to work. I'm going to bring up the chart here, and you can.
So how many total did you end up having on here, Jordan? That may determine how fast we need to go.
Yeah.
Let's just there's over 100. I'll just say that.
Over 100. All right.
Yeah.
So we gotta fly through these.
Yeah.
Put on the chat.
I'll just say that.
70.
So let's
Over
try to
100,
agree. Let's try to agree no more than about a minute or 2 for each one, so we can get through these. So yeah, we got to do it almost tournament fight style for tier ranker fight. So yeah.
Yeah, and also there's over 100, but there's less than 120. I'll tell you that. I don't know the exact number, but it's in that range. So
well, that makes the whole difference.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes all the difference.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I have some notes. I did a lot of research. I watched every single Doctor Strange trailer that exists to see if I could pick out any Easter eggs or anything that there might be any clues to who might be just showing up. And one of the fun things that we can do is after the movie is released, we can go back. We can see how many of these we actually got correct and how many we totally screwed up. So, so yeah, we'll love that. So, normally we do a poll in this one on Friends and Family Group. I'm just going to pose just a general question maybe after the show. What characters does the community think are going to show up and why? And we can have a little debate over there. So if you have any ideas, any thoughts, we'll definitely have the discussion with the community. So, but yeah, this will be the chart here. I'll kind of scroll through it though. You can kind of see that there's a lot of characters that just go. So yeah, so we'll just make it quick. They're in no particular order because that's what the website for a tier maker decided to do. So we're just going to start with what's here first. We're still going to go with the regular ladder system. We'll go in turn order, and and you just give a quick percentage. If it's a 0, well, kind of like Austin said, we'll have to do it kind of tournament fight style. I mean, you can talk a little bit about it. I encourage you, if it's a 0, maybe just like you're not really gonna.
Maybe if it's one that's super obvious to everybody, we all just go nah, like we just throw it in the 0 really quick, something like that. You know.
Yeah. So,
but you can even keep it almost there because you can just pull them in order, right? And the thing will just move itself, right? Like as you pull the pictures, it'll just scoot itself up, right? So
yeah.
So we'll just leave it there, and we can just drag them up there really quick and make it faster.
There's some of these. I'll explain to you who they are and why I decided to include them on the list. So yeah, and then we'll just go through it. So you can see what the first one is. We have Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Now in the last Avengers movie, spoiler alert, he died. So, but this is the multiverse of madness. There's nothing saying that he can't show up in some other multiverse or through a portal or whatever for any of these characters. I'll just preface that first. So, but we'll start with Steven. You're at the bottom. So what percentage would you give Tony Stark for showing up? Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark.
So this is just Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark.
Yeah, it's just him specifically.
I won't go all the way to 0, but I will go 25%, just because I'm not saying that he won't ever come back, but I don't think he'd come back this early after his death.
Yeah. Well, Malcolm, what do you think?
I'm actually going to go to 50% for this, just because, like, well, yes, like, it hasn't been a while since he died, but I think for a small cameo, I think it's possible. I think he might say yes to it. My dog agrees.
Yeah. Yep.
Moose?
Sounds like it, but Moose, yeah, what do you think?
I like Steven's prediction. I think it'll be 25%. Downey Jr.'s still got a great relationship with Marvel. But I do think that there are other people that would be more of a wow factor as a Tony Stark. But still, it's Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark. So, yeah, I'll stick with 25%.
Yeah, other people that might be on this list, we'll see. But, Austin, what do you think?
A version of him that's still alive, 100%.
Version that's still alive. Is there a version that's still alive?
It's a multiverse. Yes, 100% he shows up in this movie in a cameo. 100% as a surprise.
You say 100%. Okay. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 50%, just because I've heard Robert Downey Jr. famously say that he's not done with it with the MCU, but I mean, his character did die, so I don't know what that really means, but it could mean anything. But so we had two of us vote 50%. Was that correct? And then we had a
it was
250,
225. There was I believe there was 225, 250, and 100.
Okay, so
I think the 50% puts it right there at the
yeah.
So does that mean I break the tie? So go with the higher one.
yeah. We'll do that since we did have a 100% on there. So all right, so now we have a Black Panther, and this one's no specific person playing it, just the Black Panther character. Do you think we will see a Black Panther character? So we will start with Malcolm.
So are we talking about specifically any type of Black Panther? So it doesn't have to be T'Challa as Black Panther?
Yeah, it can be any type of Black Panther.
It doesn't actually change what I was thinking, but I'm going to go 0%, just because there's going to be a Black Panther movie coming out, and I don't think they're going to want to maybe reveal or give speculation to who could become Black Panther in this movie, because I think Wakanda Forever is probably going to be about taking over the mantle. So
yeah, true. Moose, what do you think? Black Panther.
So I am a Marvel purist, and I download Marvel comics every Friday. I think there is a 100% chance of Black Panther showing up. However, it will be Michael B. Jordan as the Black Panther, and this will be the reality in which Killmonger succeeded.
Ooh.
He is the Black Panther. So I'm making two predictions. One, it's 100%, and two, it will be Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah. Sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
0, because there's a Black Panther movie coming out later this year. 0.
Yeah, and I probably got to go with 0 as well. But I do want to point out that before the Black Panther movie itself premiered, we did see him in Civil War, so they actually he actually showed in a movie before that. He had his own movie release, so there is that. But I still don't think they want to reveal it till the actual movie comes out, the sequel to Black Panther 2. So I'll say 0. Yeah, Steven?
I think there's a good chance we'll see some characters from Wakanda. As for Black Panther himself, I'll go with 25%.
Well, if we're going with the majority rules, we had 3 zeros, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You 0, Malcolm? Yeah. So we're gonna put it down in the 0 for this one. But the next one might be an easy 0. We have Howard the Duck, so I don't know if we want to go through it. I'm just saying 0.
0.
Which
Zero.
are we talking about
anyone...
Are we talking about any version of Howard the Duck?
Yeah, any
I
version.
don't care what version it is. There ain't no Howard the Duck in this damn movie.
Do you have any quick thoughts?
Nobody gives a shit.
You can say it quick, yeah.
No, it's James Gunn's joke.
Yeah.
But it
But
was a one-time joke.
yeah.
No.
But
I was going to say I think it could be 100%. I
really?
actually going to go there. I was actually going to go there.
You think 100%? Why do you say that?
Yeah. Well, one, you got Seth Green playing Howard the Duck, and I do think there's a chance that they could bring him into this because he was in a quick shot in Endgame. So I think it's possible he could be a quick shot in here as well. So
a quick little shot. Yeah, because that is. You bring up a good point. A lot of these could be just a quick shot. Like it's one of those things where, like, if you watch the movie multiple times, you might catch certain characters that you missed the first time, maybe. So it might be one to see multiple times in the theaters. But yeah, we'll see. But the majority says 0, so we'll leave it there.
Well,
but we have, but we have Shuri. So we'll start with Moose this time. What's your prediction on Shuri?
0%.
Okay.
They're still revving her up for her own Black Panther, so 0%.
Yeah. Austin?
0.
Yeah, I'm going to go 0. Steven?
I actually would have gone as high as 75%.
All right. Yeah. Malcolm?
I mean, it looks like the Zeros have it anyway, but I would have gone 25% up because I think if anyone from Wakanda appears, I think Shuri is probably the most likely candidate to. But there's going to be those 25s. I know that Letitia Wright's been in a lot of controversy at the moment, so whether or not they want to put her in the movie or not is the other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Zeros have it, so
I don't know. People have probably forgotten about that already, anyways.
I don't even know what the controversy is, so I haven't even heard.
I think it has to do with her stance in, is it her stance in vaccines or something?
Yeah, she's changed on that pretty quickly. Marvel, yeah, the dump truck of money that is Marvel. Change your stance, or you don't get this dump truck. So
yeah, right. Yep,
she's good to go.
Yeah. Well, sticking in the Marvel universe, we have Okoye here. So
0.
Start with Austin. 0. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say 0. Steven.
I agree with Malcolm that if there's a Wakanda character, it'd most likely be Shuri. But I would still go 50% for her.
And actually, I'm gonna change one. I'm gonna say 25 because I probably would have said that for Shuri too. Because there is a slight chance if they're gonna show Black Panther, they're gonna. I mean, they might have other characters, but Malcolm.
I'm going to go 25. I'll explain that reasoning some stage if that other character that could be is there.
Sure, yeah. Moose, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a 0%. I think, again, my prediction with Black Panther being Killmonger that appears, he will have the Dora Milaje with him, but not Okoye.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so I think the Zeros have it here. So it's going to be probably mostly Zeros, but I mean, we'll see how it goes. But we have Pepper Potts, so the next character. So I'm first. I think that if we're gonna see a version of an Iron Man character, then yeah, I'm gonna say 50% for Pepper Potts because I mean, like, she's his right-hand girl, so I mean, yeah, 50% for me. Steven?
I think Gwyneth Paltrow is kind of, I think she's probably done with the MCU because I don't see her being there without Robert Downey Jr. And I don't think Robert Downey Jr. is going to be back at least not anytime soon.
Yeah, that is true. She'll probably only appear if it's Robert Downey Jr. That is a good point. But Malcolm, what do you think?
Well, this is another one because, well, I think she could appear on her own because, like, she does become rescue in Endgame essentially. So whether or not she spins off and starts doing her own superhero stuff, I don't know. I'm going to lean towards like 25% myself.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
I think Steven said it best. Marvel and Gwyneth Paltrow they're done. I think without any Robert Downey Jr., you don't get a Pepper Potts, and the character of Pepper Potts in Rescue is always a reluctant character. She never wants to be a hero, so she doesn't have any inclination to join a secret society like the Illuminati, let alone be Iron Man herself. She only does it out of reluctance or necessity. So I'm going to say 0%.
Yeah. Austin?
Gwyneth Paltrow is too busy making vagina candles. 0%.
Yeah. Yep, that is true. So, yep. Yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way: even if she is in it, Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't remember being in it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, next, a graphic for anyone who might not be familiar. That's Iron Heart. So it's going to be. It's been confirmed that she's going to be played by Dominique Thorne. So there is going to be an Iron Heart series, I think, on Disney Plus. So we'll get your guys' thoughts. Steven, what do you think for Iron Heart?
I think when it comes to upcoming movies, there's a chance they could be introduced in the movie. But when it comes to the TV shows, I think that's less likely. So I will say 0%.
Yeah. Malcolm?
I am going to say 0%, but I'm also going to say that it's been confirmed that she is going to be introduced in Wakanda Forever.
Okay. Well, that's been confirmed. We can just throw it into 0 unless you guys have any other thoughts. I mean, I'm fine.
I mean, not that I'm saying she can't appear
yeah,
earlier.
Right.
I'm just saying it's been confirmed.
Yeah, I think it's already kind of known that she's going to be part of Earth 616. And so if she's not already there, she will be introduced in an Earth 616 movie. I think there'll be like a Rhodey, Riri Williams type like banter back and forth. So I think there's 0% for her being in this movie.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, 0.
Would you agree?
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Yeah. We have the Red Skull. So I mean, there's always potential for these villains showing up, possibly. So we'll start with Malcolm. What do you think?
Well, I wish we get Hugo Weaving Red Skull. It's more likely going to be Ross Marquand. And I'm probably going to say 25%.
Yeah, sounds good. Moose?
I think we get 0%. I think we've seen what happens to the Red Skull. He ends up on Voromir guarding the Soul Stone. That's all we're ever going to see left of the Red Skull. So 0%.
Yeah. Austin?
Yeah, he already had his return that everybody was asking for in the Infinity War movies. So for this one, I give it a big 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that if Hugo Weaving would have stuck around as the character, there would have been a higher percent. Maybe we would see him, but without that, I think he already had the only return we're going to see of him. So yeah, I think that character's basically done. So I'll say 0. Steven?
Yeah, probably 0. I mean, especially if Captain America's not in this either.
Yeah. Yep.
I will say though, it'll be cool if they've kept it under wraps this whole time and we do get Hugo Weaving Red Skull pop up.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like I'd be down for that. Yeah, but we have Agent Maria Hill next, so we can speculate if there's going to be any Shield people popping up. Moose, what do you think?
I don't know. This is kind of a weird train of thought I'm going to go down, but I'll give it 25% because there might be a universe that they enter in where there is the Norman Osborn run Shield, which is called Hammer in the comics, and Maria Hill is like the #1 assassin. So I'll go 25% just on the odd chance that my nerd obsession pays off.
Yeah, right. Austin, what do you think?
I think she's way more likely to pop up on some of these TV shows as like a supporting character than to pop up in these movies again, because the last time we even saw her in a movie was the one scene where she was disappearing with Sam Jackson, and they haven't had any other use for her really since then. Yeah. So 0.
Yeah. She wasn't Far From Home. Or was it really her?
Yeah, true. Well, yeah, like I think that for me, I think the only way she's going to show up is probably with Sam Jackson. I don't know if she shows up really any other way. So, and with that, like, I'll go 25%, I think. But I mean, I'm not gonna get my hopes up or anything. But Steven?
I'll go 50%, but mostly for wishful thinking.
Yeah, sure. Malcolm?
I'm going to go 25% because I think that there's a possibility that she could be a post-credit scene leading into Secret Invasion, which is coming. If anything,
it is true. Yeah, because don't count out that post-credit scene. There. Yeah, so I think that
not a bad prediction, Cowboy.
The Maria Hill lands at 25%, so we'll put it there. The next one we have Hawkeye and Kate Bishops. We can speculate on both the characters here if we think either one of them is going to show up. So, Austin, what do you think?
They've got their show 0.
Yeah, yeah. Like I kind of feel like the show's kind of taking them in like a different overall direction, but yeah. So I'll probably say 0. Steven?
I'll go 25%.
Yeah. Malcolm?
Yeah, I'm going to go 0% on this. Clint Barton's pretty much retired at this point, and I don't see any thing for Kate Bishop at the moment. So.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with Malcolm. Jeremy Renner, Clint Barton's done, and Kate Bishop will have her moment, but it'll be down the line. So 0% for either.
Yeah, so it sounds like 0%. I'm just trying to see if I can zoom in on the next character because some of these the graphics so small.
I don't think Jeremy Renner is done.
Sharon. Okay.
But I don't think it's likely that he'll be in the movie just because there's already going to be so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
True.
I think we'll see him in like like maybe some of the TV stuff maybe going forward, but we'll throw it in 0. So the next one,
let's get an old man Hawkeye.
Yeah, right. yeah.
I mean, I think if we get a sequel series of Hawkeye, it's more Kate Bishop center stage. I think Clint will be the mentor that sends her on her way.
Yeah. Yep. But so this next one's Sharon Carter. So I mean, there is talk of Captain Carter in this, but will we see Sharon Carter? So we'll start with Austin.
Sharon Carter, the Agent 13 chick?
Yeah, yeah, Agent 13.
Why 0?
I don't know. Like anything.
That summarizes
anything's possible. Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm gonna say 0, yeah. Steven?
Well, she's clearly not done with the MCU, but I think it's less likely for her to be in this particular movie. I'll go 25.
Let's just say, if she popped up in this movie, I'd be like, "Who is that?"
Yeah.
I like.
I'm sorry, they haven't even like really had her in any of the MCU things, anyways. Where I was like, I didn't even know who that is.
I like Emily Van Camp, so I'm.
Well, she was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is where she.
Yeah, and there's that twist.
I tapped out on that show after 4 episodes.
Yeah. Well, Malcolm,
I didn't like, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the plan is for her to be sort of the main villain sort of thing in the next Captain America movie, but I'm going to go 0% for her being Doctor Strange.
Yeah. All right, 0%. All right, so we have the Maximoff Twins next, Wiccan and Speed. So I'm up first. I'm going to say 100% because you literally see them in the trailer as kids. I don't know if we're going to see them fully manifest on the Wiccan and Speed. I don't know, but I'm going to say 100% because I mean the trailer confirms it. So yeah. Steven?
I gotta be honest, I don't know who they are.
Is it Billy and Tommy that you mean when you post the Wiccan and Speed?
Yeah,
Wanda's
kids
right? WandaVision.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her children.
Oh, I haven't finished WandaVision yet.
Okay. Well, the kids are in there. You don't ever really see them as Wiccan and Speed. That's just who they become in the comics. But,
right.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, there's obviously going to be a huge connection with WandaVision, but I have no idea who they are, so I'm just going to go 0%.
Sure, yeah. Malcolm?
Look, don't fall for Marvel's trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Because they could put the shot of them in there as a quick moment from the WandaVision TV show showing that there is going to be a connection. That being said, I'm still going to go 50%, just because if there is a connection with Westview and all that, then I think there is a chance that we will see them, but I'm not holding my hopes up on that.
Yeah, to Malcolm's point, anybody remember that shot of the Hulk running with the group towards Thanos on Wakanda for Infinity War?
Yeah.
That wasn't in there. Hulk wasn't
that?
even in the goddamn movie.
Yeah, right.
What a liar. A bunch of liars.
Yeah, right. It's true.
Moose,
what do you think?
So I think there's 100% chance that we're going to see Billy and Tommy from WandaVision. They will not manifest to Wiccan and Speed. And even if we don't get them as characters, it'll be a flashback of some sorts. Doctor Strange has been having these nightmares. I also think Wanda has too. That's the only reason why she's going to help Doctor Strange go into the multiverse is because she's searching for her kids. So I think Billy and Tommy will be there. I don't think we're going to get a Wiccan and Speed. I think that comes down the line when we get the Young Avengers. But I do think there's 100% chance that we get Billy and Tommy.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think?
Anybody related to Wanda will be in this movie, 100%.
Yeah, so I'm going to put them in.
Yep.
I'm going to put them in at the 100%, but it's not really saying that we're going to see him as Wiccan and Speed for sure, but the twins
kids
will be there.
I think the kids will be there.
But the other characters are up for speculation still. But yeah, so here this just represents Thor or Jane. If you think any either character are going to show up as a little preamble to Thor: Love and Thunder. So we'll start with Steven.
0%. I think I don't think we'll see them until Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yeah. Malcolm?
I'm going to go 75% on this because I think whoever said because Black Panther did show up first in Civil War before he got his own movie, so I think there's a chance we might see this is how Jane gets Mjolnir and all that. This might lead into Thor: Love and Thunder easily.
Yeah.
So
is this Thor slide specific to either of these two Thors, or can I also make a prediction?
You can make a prediction, sure, yeah.
I think we're going to get Throg, the frog version of Thor, in this movie. But I don't think we're going to get either of these two Thors. So I'll go 50% that there is a Throg joke in here because it's Sam freaking Raimi and he gets his chance to poke around at the MCU. So why wouldn't you choose the most obscure Thor, which is a bullfrog with a hammer? So 50% that Throg shows up, but not either of these two. I think we're getting them in Thor: Love and Thunder.
It would be hilarious. So yeah. And also, they've been kind of toying with the Thor character. I mean, we had Fat Thor. We have different. I don't know, like
we had Throg in Loki. If you remember, there was a frog in a glass jar, buried, and he was jumping to try to reach Mjolnir, which he couldn't get. So I think we actually get like a weird Throg that's like on the Illuminati panel.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think?
For these two, I'm going to say 0 because the trailer's already out for Thor: Love and Thunder, and we don't need them in this movie to promote it. It's already coming out in like a couple of months, and it's not necessary. I think this movie overall is going to be for ones that will make you perk up in your seat, or go holy shit, or go oh my god, I can't believe they got them to be in this, or they have some story purpose, even for a brief scene. And I don't think there's any reason for Thor or Jane to be in this one when there's a movie coming out very, very soon.
Yeah. I think that I'm with you. I think I'm going to say 0% just because, we already have the trailer. Like, it doesn't really need more promotion. But at the same time, Marvel does go pretty heavy on the promo. Like, I wouldn't put it past them to even just like have them in the movie just randomly.
Does it count if we see the Thor Love and Thunder trailer before Doctor Strange? Does that count as a part of the Doctor Strange?
No, but we
okay.
won't see it though. Like that's a guarantee. Yeah. But yeah,
I mean, there could once again there could be a post-credit scene at the end of Doctor Strange for Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah, right. Well, the next one we have M'Baku. So let's see.
0. Just throw it up. Just keep going. Just keep going. Sorry, M'Baku.
0. Okay. Yeah.
0.
Yeah. Do we think anyone from Guardians of the Galaxy, anyone from
Nope.
0.
No.
The whole universe will show up?
No.
It would be great to see Jeff Goldblum's like collector there, but no, 0%.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. Now, do we think we're going to see any zombie characters? Because I just added it because in the trailers, it looks like there's a zombie character in there. So, I mean,
who's first?
I think you are first, Austin.
Okay. It's Sam Raimi. He's a horror guy. There will be at least one Marvel zombie, 100%, and at least a Flash.
Yeah.
He's an Evil Dead guy. Just think about it. He's going to put some goddamn zombies in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say 75%. Like, I'm not totally convinced yet, but it does look like there's one in the trailer, like I said. So, yeah. But Steven?
I'll say 25%.
Yeah. Malcolm, what do you think?
This is when I'm going to go 100% on this. I'm going to break what I said about trailers, but you do see one in the trailer, but once again, who knows? But I'm still going to go 100%.
Yeah. Sounds good. Moose, what do you think?
I think there's 100% that we're going to see the Marvel zombie universe. And yeah, Brian Nussbaum is right. Excuse me. I meant the Grandmaster, but I think there's 100% chance that we're going to see the Marvel zombie universe. They're obviously
he's going to throw some horror elements in here, and Marvel Zombies plays right into that in some nightmare sequence or him tripping out on something, and he's going to see some zombies.
They're going to fall into that, and they're immediately going to start becoming susceptible to the virus, and absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Also, Moose, to go back a year, maybe there was a universe where Jeff Goldblum became the collector, not the Grandmaster.
He would listen. Just give me all the Jeff Goldblum I can get, okay?
What's
Jeff
that?
Goldblum
What's
to
that
just
gem
narrate my 90 seconds while I brush my teeth.
That's an interesting gem you've got there.
What do we have here?
A wonderful stone.
Gem there. Yes.
I'd really like to see that one close up. Right.
Yeah. Just take Jeff Goldblum's character out of The World According to Jeff Goldblum, and like he could be a collector right there.
That's quite a piece.
Yeah. But so do we think that the TVA will have a presence in
who is that?
What that is?
Time variance ordinance.
Yeah,
from association or authorization, whatever.
Miss minutes
from Loki. Yeah, so I just use that to represent.
Oh, I didn't watch Loki. No.
If we think they're going to have a presence, so. And I'm up first, and I think absolutely yes. I think that actually that the Loki TV series is going to play huge into this because there's a lot of kind of them going into like different times, and I think that the whole time traveling thing kind of fits well with the alternate universe type of stuff. So I'm going to say 100%. Yeah. Steven, what do you think?
There's very few characters I would go 100 or 0%. So I'll say 75%.
Yeah, I'm good. Malcolm?
This is tough. I'm going to go at 0% on this. I do think that there'll be some characters on the show that may appear, but I think the TVA specifically, I don't think so.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
I agree with Malcolm. I think that we will see characters from the Loki show, but I don't think the TVA will actually play a part in this. Basically like we'll run across a different variant of a Kang character, and or I'm pretty I'll bring this up later, but I'm pretty sure that Loki will probably show up in this shit. But 0% on the TVA.
Yeah. Well, Austin, you never saw Loki, which you actually should.
Well, here's the thing, but they have to cater to people like me who don't watch every single episode of the TV shows, but who watch the movies. And if somebody from TV showed up, I'd be like, I don't know who that is. Like, it wouldn't make any difference to me. So I think because of that, I'm going to say 0, because it just wouldn't make any impact. Nobody would care.
Yeah. Well, the majority say 0, so we'll throw it down here. But so for the Fantastic Four characters, I have a bunch of them here, but in the interest of time, we'll just go through it and just say, do you think any Fantastic Four characters will show up in this, and which ones do you think? So we'll just do that. So
just one, one big one.
One of the things that I forgot to preface too that I wanted to say. So this movie's gonna have the Illuminati. So the members of the Illuminati over time. I'm just gonna read this here that have been a part of it. It includes Reed Richards. He's part of it, and then Professor Xavier, Doctor Strange, obviously Iron Man, Black Panther, Namor, Black Bolt from the Inhumans. Hulk was in it at one point. Magneto and even Captain America was part of it. Also, they listed Medusa too, but I think there's no chance because that character hasn't even been mentioned anywhere in anything. But yeah, so those are some potentials for the Illuminati. Whether or not we see them, I don't know. But we'll start with Steven. Do you think any of the Fantastic Four will show up, and which ones? And you can even name the actor if you want to.
Definitely nobody from Fan Force Tech.
Yeah.
So all of those characters would be 0. Maybe Ewan Griffith.
Yeah.
I think he and Chris Evans from that group are probably the most likely ones. Chris Evans really only because of him being Chris Evans.
Yep.
I'll go with Ewan Griffith. I'll go 50%. And Chris Evans 25%.
Yeah.
And I'd probably go everyone else 0%.
Yeah,
and I have no idea about the new Fantastic Four, if we're gonna get them or not.
Well, included one because of the rumor maybe John Krasinski might be the new Reed Richards. That's just a very like a total rumor. Like there's absolutely nothing confirmed, but I included it just for fun here. But yeah, but Malcolm, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to meet the new Fantastic Four in this movie. But this is going to be one of those ones. I think, if anything, Ewan Griffith as Reed Richards is probably going to be 100%. I'm going to go 75% of Chris Evans as Human Torch, because if he comes back as Captain America, he might suggest go, look, I was Human Torch. How cool it would be if I played 2 different roles? Same with Michael B. Jordan from Fan Forcing. I think if anyone from that group comes up, he could show up, because if they're going to get him back for either Killmonger or Black Panther, as what most predicted, then they will get him back for that. I think everyone else is probably going to be a 0% though.
Yeah,
and like it'd be cool if the 2 Human Torches met from both universes. That could happen. But Moose, what do you think?
My fantasy fan casting is Krasinski as Reed Richards, but I think that's going to come in the MCU and not part of this movie, because why would you introduce John Krasinski as Reed Richards in an alternate universe, right?
Yeah.
I do think that I'm Gruffeld, it will be in this movie. I think there's 100% chance, because if you know your Illuminati from the comics, you just read them off. Reed Richards is pretty much the leader of the Illuminati.
Right.
And I think that would get fans going kind of nuts to know that, like, okay, this guy still exists. I think there's a 0% chance for every other character. I think he's the only one that has a 100% chance of being in this movie.
Kind of odd, though, considering how unpopular those movies are.
Yeah, right.
So was Thor: The Dark World, and it was in the biggest Marvel movie ever, Endgame.
Yeah.
So Marvel knows how to be able to retcon like silly stuff into canon that is popular.
Exactly. Yeah, and also that's not to say though that if it's a cameo, we won't just see him in an alternate universe. We may see him as part of the same timeline / universe. You know, you never know. But Austin, what do you think?
Who's to say there won't be something in this movie where John Krasinski's Reed Richards doesn't at the end become a part of the current MCU universe because of something that happens, much like the stuff at the end of the Spider-Man movie. 100% John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic shows up, and 0% for everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, like for me, I'm gonna go with 100% chance on the Mr. Fantastic. Now, which one is it going to be? That's hard to say. So I kind of feel like we throw them both up there and kind of leave it at that. That's not to say they're both going to show up, but I mean, because like for me, like I think that there's 100% chance they're going to show up, but it's 50-50 on which one. So for me, and then as far as any other Fantastic Four, I think Chris Evans shows up. I think it's about a 50% chance for me. I think that he might show up because I think he's been kind of heavily rumored. So yeah, but so for now, I'm gonna throw these two up. I'm just putting them here as a placeholder, and then maybe Chris Evans goes up in maybe like a 50 or so. But let's bring them up here. That one. Yeah. No, that's
sorry, Jessica Alba. You ain't got no chance.
Yeah, that one. There you go. The John Krasinski one's going up.
Alba
Yeah. Not really. Chris Evans will do 50.
I'm okay with Chris Evans as a 50 because that would be the most fun or the most likely to be like a comedy bit or something.
Yeah. And just to get him out of the way, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, Miles Teller.
Here. Yeah.
It would be fun to see Chickless back, but
right.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any thoughts on the Silver Surfer? I'm going to throw him into 0 unless anyone has any thoughts.
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Not until they start introducing Galactus.
Yeah.
They had an actor that supposedly filmed a scene for like some MCU movie. I don't know which one that it was. Supposedly, is what the rumor is. I don't know.
There is a chance, in my opinion, that he might. So you do see a Defender Strange, right? That's confirmed. You see Doctor Strange, like one version of him that's Defender Strange. And one of the core members of the Defenders has always been the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
But I think it's too soon. I don't think we see him until Galactus is presented. But it would be an interesting little nod if he were just standing in the background of like a Defender Strange scene.
Yeah. One thing I was on the Silver Surfer is once again, because if they do what they did with Thanos and just slowly lead up to his appearance, maybe that you see a silver guy flying in the background of a shot, and that's all and that's the Silver Surfer. It's like, oh shit, Galactus is coming.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and actually, yeah, that's one of the things that we'll get to in a little bit about Galactus. I think that is connected with the Silver Surfer kind of. So, but
I'm okay with Silver Surfer being like a 25% kind of territory, maybe as a smidge, maybe a background thing.
It could be the one to kind of bridge the gap between the Fantastic Four. So, like, I kind of think so too. Like maybe a 25%. Maybe we bump him up a little bit. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay. So, yeah, just a 25. Yeah. Then we have Captain Carter here. So Sharon Carter as that. She showed up in What If, but her shield is on the poster for Doctor Strange too. So we'll see what you guys think. We'll start with Malcolm. What do you think for Captain Carter?
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. I'm ultimately going to lean 100%. But this is one of those ones that I'm not going to sort of rely solely on the marketing materials for this, because they probably put a whole bunch of stuff on that poster because just to represent various multiverses and all that.
Yeah.
But I know there is a quick shot in the trailer where you see them going into different multiverses, and you do see one that is distinctly animated.
Yeah.
But that could lead into one of the other ones we are going to talk about at some stage. But that could also be representing the What If universe. Whether or not we get a live action version of this character, I'd love to see that. But yeah, it depends on if Haley Atwell was available for all that. So
yeah. Well, Moose, what do you think?
I agree too. I think that there's 100% chance we're going to get some iteration of Captain Carter. If they do by chance go into the What If universe and it's a quick cameo. Personally, I'm hoping that she's one of the Illuminati. She's taken Captain America's place as one of the Illuminati, because
that'd be cool.
You watched the What If series, she was actually displaced from her own universe to go to another universe. So I think that there's a possibility that could be in place. I think 100% chance that we get some iteration of Haley Atwell as Captain Carter.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
I think there's a very strong, almost 100% chance that there's going to be an Illuminati scene with Reed Richards, Professor X, and Captain Britain in there, the Captain Carter. So I'm going to say 100.
Yeah. I think I'm going to say 100% too. I don't know how much we're going to get, but I really hope that they kind of set her up for some big things down the road. So I'm going to say 100%. Yeah. Steven?
So I'm a little bit at a disadvantage here because I haven't seen What If.
I've only seen the first episode with Captain Carter.
So based on what you guys are saying, I will just give it a 50-50 shot and say 50%.
Yeah. Well, I think the majority say 100, so I'm going to throw it up to 100. So yeah.
If I had seen the show, maybe I would go 100.
I haven't seen the show, and I still think she's showing up.
So how cool would it be to see a scene of Haley Carter talking to herself as Captain Carter?
Yeah.
Also, you put Silver Surfer in 50%, not 25.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it would 25. Be great to see Haley Atwell back. I hope we haven't seen the last of her.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, agreed.
Because even the Sharon or the Peggy Carter show, the TV series, I thought that it was pretty good. I actually really liked that series. So
yeah. I mean, I know Haley Atwell is busy
Agent
filming
Carter.
the new Mission Impossible movie, so whether or not she's had some spare time to do a live action interpretation is what I'm not too sure about, but it's very quick to do a quick. Well, that's
some of these literally take a day or two to film. Really, I mean, realistically, if they were quick scenes.
Yeah,
but it depends on if she was in that area as well. Anyway,
well, we have Captain America himself, and usually he's pretty connected with all things Peggy Carter. So we'll see what you think. Moose, what do you think for Captain America showing up?
Just like my same feeling about RDJ showing back up as Tony Stark. They're like a fine wine. You need to give them time to breathe, right? Even though they've been dead a couple of years, it's too soon to reintroduce Chris Evans as Cap. There's more likely of a chance of him showing up as something else if he even shows up. Same with Robert Downey Jr. I think there's a 0% chance we get Chris Evans as Captain America.
Okay. Austin, what do you think?
75. Just a gut feeling.
Yeah. I'm going to say 75 too, actually, because I kind of already mentioned that I think he's pretty connected with things having to do with Peggy Carter, and yeah, I think that there's a big chance that we see him. So yeah. Steven, what do you think?
Well, I think we have a much better chance of seeing him as Steve Rogers than Robert Downey Jr. coming back, because unlike Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark, Steve Rogers isn't dead.
Yep.
I mean, he's an old man, but he's not dead. So I will go. Plus, if he does appear as Johnny Storm, that would be fun little scene if they had the two in the same scene.
Yeah.
So I'll go 50% for Chris Evans, Captain America.
Yeah. Malcolm, what do you think?
The reason I gave his version of Human Torch 50% is because of this. I'm going to go 50% for Chris Evans as well. Yes, the last we see of him is as an old man in Endgame, but what if this starts off with the funeral and he's in the coffin? So I mean that would count as appearance. So
yeah, true.
I mean, not that I hope that Captain America actually does die in this one.
You want him to die, Malcolm? Yeah, right. I see what you're saying, but no, yeah. So I think I am going to give the tiebreaker to the higher one. So I'll put it at 75 for now. So I'll do that. But
I mean, we don't have anything there yet, so might as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a big hole right there. So yep. So we have Namor, the Submariner next. So see what you think. We'll start with Moose, and I want to remind everyone that in the comics he is part of the Illuminati. So
I do actually think I'm going to give this 100% that Namor will be part of the Illuminati. I don't think it's going to be a very big role. I think this will introduce us to the actor who will be playing him in Wakanda Forever, because Namor is supposed to be the main antagonist of that movie, but Namor is also like one of the original members of the Illuminati. He's been an Avenger. Like, he's oftentimes a good guy, bad guy. I actually think this is kind of a perfect introduction to just simply introduce the audience to Namor. He doesn't have to be any more than just simply a cameo. I think there's a 100% chance that we see Namor on the Illuminati in this movie.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
100% he shows up for a quick bit in the Illuminati scene I'm talking about, at least the one scene. And we at least get the quick tease of him to kind of lead into the Wakanda thing. So yeah.
And I would agree with that too. Yeah, I think that it's going to be 100% that he shows up. There's been a lot of rumors floating around about Namor. I don't know how the whole rights things work, if they got the rights back 100% or like what that's all about. But yeah, I'm going to say
they bought Fox, so they got the 100% rights.
Okay, I thought he was with like Universal or something like that. Is what I thought.
I'll get. I mean, I get.
I'm going to put him up here for now, but we'll let you guys have your thoughts.
Well, from what I've heard is that it's similar to Hulk in that they can't do like a solo movie because Universal has the distribution to do like a whole Namor movie, but he can be in a movie. You know what I mean? Like how they can do Hulk in a movie, they just can't do a Hulk movie right now because Universal still owns the Hulk.
Yeah, Namor's rights wasn't tied up with Fox.
Yeah. Well, Steven, what do you think? Sorry. We'll go to Steven first.
I don't know anything about him based on what you guys are saying. And I seem to recall when Infinity War came out, people were saying that he was hinted at in that movie. I'll say, since I don't know anything about him, I'll go 50.
Yeah, it was Endgame when they were referring to the tremors under the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Supposed to be Namor letting off steam, apparently. I don't know how, but
that. Yeah. Malcolm, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go 25%. I think, like, if he shows up, it'll be to sort of introduce him and leading into Black Panther, but I'm just not confident that he's going to be here.
Yeah. Well, we have 100%, so stay in the 100s for now. So, but so we have Ghost Rider, and this one specifically, Ghost Rider played by Nick Cage. Do we think we're going to get Nick Cage as Ghost Rider? So we'll start with Austin. What do you think?
This might just be wishful thinking because of his resurgence right now. I would love to see a cameo of Nick Cage as Ghost Rider with the skull on fire. Just for how much it would make me happy, I'll say 25, but I'm not going like 100. But maybe it's just wishful thinking. But I'll say 25.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. Like I'd love to see him. I think that'd be awesome. And I think that with Marvel at the helm, they could do some pretty cool stuff with the Ghost Rider character. So I'll say 25%. Yeah. Steven?
Hasn't Nicolas Cage been in talks to join the MCU in some capacity?
I'm not totally sure. I have no idea.
He's kind of been like, I don't know, maybe, and like he's been wishy-washy about it. So I don't know if he's.
Yeah,
who knows?
I don't know. He says, "I don't know about that." So yeah, that's pretty much what he says.
So you know what? I'll go as high as I don't know if he's going to play Ghost Rider, but I'll go I'll go as high as 50%.
Yeah. Malcolm, what do you think?
Because I know there's rumors that the character of Nightmare is going to be somewhat involved with this somehow.
Oh yeah.
I don't. And I think that Ghost Rider is connected with that realm as well. So I think if anything, Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider is probably the more likely one to maybe make an appearance. Besides, I'd love to see Nicolas fucking Cage in anything. So
yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, but tune into your episode of Rank 'em. So if you want to get hyped, go watch Malcolm's episode of Rank 'em. Austin was on it too. But Moose, what do you think for Ghost Rider Nick Cage?
Well, I think Nightmare is 100% the villain of this movie, 100%. And I think that we might get, you might get a kind of Heaven, Hell, Mephisto type thing. As much as I would like to see Nicolas Cage walk on screen and be like, I'm more like a ghost protector, I do not think he's going to show up as Ghost Rider. I just don't. I would love to see it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Nightmare will be the primary villain of this movie. I think if Marvel's going to get Nick Cage as hot as Nick Cage is right now, you're going to get him in a larger role. He's going to be like the living manifestation of eternity. Like if they're going in this cosmic role, that would be amazing. But
there you go.
Again, I'd love to see Ghost Rider. I'm a huge fan of Ghost Rider character. But I do not think we're getting a Nicolas Cage's version of Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was just gonna throw him up in the 25% because we got a couple votes for that, but yeah.
I mean, if Nicolas Cage comes back as Ghost Rider, he really will be hot as hell.
Right?
I mean,
there you go.
It's just so sad we can't get Peter Fonda back as Mephisto. Because how would the fans react?
Okay, Nick Cage as Mephisto is inspired casting, right?
Yeah, actually, it's true.
Devil. Like it's. So
oh man, that'd be awesome. But yeah, so we have a pretty heavily rumored one that maybe Tom Cruise might be back in a cameo as Iron Man because he was once almost cast as Iron Man. So we'll see what you guys think. We'll start with Steven. What do you think?
This is probably wishful thinking on my part. If Tony Stark is going to be in the movie in any capacity, I think it's much more likely to be Cruise than Robert Downey Jr. I will go 50%.
Yeah. Malcolm, what do you think?
Yeah, so I think the Tom Cruise Iron Man, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is specifically Superior Iron Man that they are putting him as.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to go 100% because I think if there is going to be a version of Tony Stark that's part of the Illuminati, it's probably going to be the Tom Cruise one as opposed.
Yeah. Sounds good. Moose, what do you think?
I like Malcolm inviting into that Tom Cruise rumor vein. I think that Tom Cruise will be there as Tony Stark, as a Superior Iron Man type character. More so, I believe this than I think that RDJ will be back as Tony Stark in a different iteration. So it's just fun, and this is the type of cameo that Cruise would take because it's just a fun cameo. Like, look at him as Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was not a major role. He probably spent a couple of days on set, wearing the fat suit and the bald hat, and had a blast with it. He probably spent a couple of days wearing a CGI suit as Tony Stark from a different dimension. So I 100% buy into this.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I'm just envisioning some scene where Iron Man does his landing in some capacity. We zoom in on it. The face opens up, and instead of Robert Downey Jr., it's Tom Cruise, and the crowd goes bonkers. I'm just seeing something like that. The weight, you open it up, and it's him instead of Robert Downey Jr. 100%. We get it.
Yeah. For me, I would say more like a 75%, just because it'd be a fun cameo, but I kind of feel like they're gonna bring Tom Cruise in. Maybe they'd have him in a bigger role than that. Maybe, I don't know, but because he's got so much other stuff going on that it's like he doesn't even have time for any other roles. But so I'm just gonna say 75, but we'll give them the majority rules to 100%. So we'll throw it up there.
I mean, if they want to give Haley Atwell, they're going to give Haley Atwell some time off to do a live action Captain Carter. Tom Cruise wants to. What, you can get Haley can have time off if I can be in the movie.
Right. Yeah.
And Kevin Feige's like, give him that fucking time off. Let me write that shit.
Also, we never got Steven's thoughts. What do you think?
Steven started off.
Yeah.
Oh, you started? Okay. I forgot who started. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So we're just gonna go with both versions of Daredevil here. We have the TV show one. Yeah, the Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox and Ben Affleck.
And the Ben Affleck one. Yeah. So we'll start with Malcolm then. So do you think either one of these could show up?
As much as I'd like to see Ben Affleck pop up, I am going to go maybe a 0% on Ben Affleck, and I'm probably going to go 25% on the TV show one, because I mean he's had his return. He's going to be in the new Echo show, which is coming at some stage.
Oh yeah,
but I just don't see any reason why he would need to be here.
Yeah, and also too, we'll just throw the other characters in there. We have Electro and we have Foggy in there. Do you think either one of those are probably less of a chance? But
yeah.
Foggy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's actually a point. Which version of Foggy is it? Jon Favreau Foggy or the TV show Foggy?
We'll have the TV show here, so we'll just do that. but either one, honestly, it could be either one. But Moose, do you think any characters from Daredevil, any version of Daredevil, could show up?
So I do think so. Again, I'm going back to like the Defenders, right? Because we know that Defender Strange is there, so you do expect to see one iteration of the Defenders, and the Defenders are kind of a unique cast. Like Daredevil has been a Defender, the Hulk has been a Defender, Spider-Man's been a Defender, Namor, the Silver Surfer, like She-Hulk, Luke Cage. I think we will see Daredevil, but it won't be Ben Affleck and it won't be Charlie Cox. I think the character of Daredevil will show up in the Defenders feature, because I do expect that Defender Strange is going to die like fucking beginning of the movie. But he'll obviously have his team with him, because he's not known as Defender Strange because he's the only one. It's a team. It's like the Avengers. They're the Defenders. So I think that we will see a version of the Defenders that will include a Daredevil. I don't think it's either one of these two. And I don't think we're going to see Foggy.
Yeah, right.
We're going to see Electro. Nobody cares for Foggy. That's a fucked up character. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I love to see Foggy.
Yeah, right. Well, Austin, what do you think for anyone?
I think Charlie Cox already had his show up and cheer audience moment with Spider-Man. Like that was kind of the moment he had, to kind of be like he's around. Ben Affleck, I think he's done with all the superhero shit in general right now, so I just don't see him even making a cameo in this. I don't see any of those characters really doing it. I'd give them all a 0, honestly.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say 0 for like pretty much anyone from that world. So yeah, but You do bring up a good point though about the Defenders Moose though. So I mean, it makes me almost want to say 25% for maybe like one of them. Like I don't know, maybe Charlie Cox, but I don't really think so. I'm going to say 0. So, Steven, what do you think?
Nothing would make me happier than to see Ben Affleck as Daredevil because I think that movie is super underrated.
Yeah.
But Ben Affleck has gone on record to say that Daredevil is the only movie he's done that he's regretted doing. So I don't think he's going to want to.
You don't regret Geely or anything?
Yeah, he doesn't regret reindeer games.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But so 0 for Affleck. I'll give a 25% chance for any of the Netflix / I guess now they're Disney Plus characters.
Yeah.
Now, are we counting it as appearance? Like, if they weren't physically on set? Because what if we see Doctor Strange going through various doors in the multiverse? We see like an archive footage of Ben Affleck's Daredevil, but he wasn't actually on set. It's just like blink and you miss it. That can his appearance or not really?
I'd say it still counts. Yeah, I mean, if we see it in like any form, it still count. So.
I mean, it doesn't change my thoughts. I'm just thinking about it for other things coming up.
And we're only voting on Daredevil characters, right? We're not voting on the full Defenders.
No, we're just voting on the Daredevil characters for now.
Okay, yeah. I think you could even see like Defender Strange going into battle, and you just see like a CGI version of Daredevil swinging in. Like that would be, I still think that there's a chance that could happen.
Yeah. Well, as far as these characters go, it sounds like mostly 0, so I'm going to put them all here for now. But we'll do a quick vote on any of the other TV characters here. You have Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and Jessica Jones. So we'll start with Moose. Do you think we see any of those characters?
I 100% think that we're going to see Luke Cage in the Defenders. Like with Defender Strange as part of his team. This iteration, the Netflix iteration, is it Mike Hodges is his name?
Mike Coulter.
Excuse me, Coulter. Yes, I expect to see him on Defender Strange's, but I don't. The less we see about this Iron Fist, the better. But I do fully expect 100% to see Mike Coulter as as Luke Cage in the Defenders universe.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, do you think we'll see any other TV?
I'll give Luke Cage 50 and the other 2, Jessica Jones and Iron Fist, 0.
Yeah. I think I'm on the same boat as you, Austin. I'll give Luke Cage 50 and the other 2 0. Yeah, and I think that there's just more of a chance Luke Cage shows up. He's much more well known to be part of the Defenders than the other 2. So yeah, I'll say 50. Steven?
I think if we're not going to see Charlie Cox as Daredevil, then we probably won't see anyone else from the shows. Although he's not pictured here. The other person that's always been heavily talked about to possibly making a comeback, of course, is John Bernthal. But
yeah. But he actually is here.
He's later. Okay.
Yeah. They just jumbled it up. I had them all grouped together, and they jumbled up and left him out. But he is on the list further down. Yeah.
Do we see Luke Cage in his old school Defender outfit?
Yes.
You absolutely do. Tiara and all. Yeah.
Chain and everything. Yeah.
I think
Tiara and all. Yeah. Absolutely.
Tiara. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Malcolm
looking like Dwayne Johnson from his early wrestling days, or his old fanny pack days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the reason I went 25% on Charlie Cox specifically is because I'm going to go 25% on all 3 of these, because I think that there's a reason Disney got these rights back from Netflix. And I think it does include the contracts and that. The one caveat I will say is I not 100% sure that it's going to be Finn. What's his face as Iron Fist? It might be a different actor playing it, but for the sake of this, I'm going to say 25% on all three of these. Even though just for the characters alone, because I think if we see Luke Cage, I would love to. I think a really good moment would be seeing Luke Cage and Iron Fist fighting side by side as the heroes for hire.
Yeah. Well, we have a majority of 0 for these two, but I think Luke Cage though, like
at least a 50, I would say.
Yeah, at least a 50. So yeah, we'll
because I think if Luke Cage was at least 150 and 25%, so I think 50 is a good place to
something like that.
Yeah. but so what are the chances we see any iteration of the Hulk, like even She-Hulk included? I've heard that even include Amadeus Cho version of the Hulk just for fun, but I really think that's like
any version of Bruce Banner that we've seen before.
Or any version of Bruce Banner. So we'll start with Austin. What do you think?
None except for a 25% chance of Ed Norton for fun.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it would be as fun, almost as fun as the Tom Cruise thing, just for acknowledging that he was once, a part of this MCU and technically is, you know what I mean? So I don't know. 25 to Ed Norton, but not really to anything else.
Yeah. For me, I think that there's a big chance we see Mark Ruffalo in there. Like I'm gonna say pretty high for Mark Ruffalo. I'm gonna actually probably say, because Bruce Banner is one of the members of the Illuminati at some point in the comic book. So I'm gonna say 75% for Mark Ruffalo. What do you say?
So I think if we do the alternate Illuminati scene, I think Ed Norton's there as Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Possibly. I think that'd be fun.
It is possibly. I just think that the split with Ed Norton and Marvel did not end very pretty. I think that it wasn't a very good split, because it would have worked out better. I think we would have seen more Ed Norton. But
at the same time, what's Ed Norton been doing lately? Not a whole lot.
Yeah, it's true. So
would he do it for a little bit of payola? I don't know. He ain't been doing a lot lately. I'm just saying.
He might. Yeah. Yeah, but Steven, what do you think? Do you think any version of the Hulk, including She-Hulk too, do you think will show?
Oh, She-Hulk?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna wait for She-Hulk for the Disney Plus show. I'll go 50% for Ruffalo, 25% for Banner, and 0% for Norton.
Yeah. Sounds good. Malcolm, what do you think?
I'm going to go. Now, this is where the reason I asked about the archive footage. I'm going to go 25% on all the Hulks except Amadeus Cho. I don't think there's a reason for them to introduce Amadeus Cho at this stage. But for all the other Hulks, including She-Hulk, I'm going to go 25%, because I think that they'll do She-Hulk to sort of tease her for her upcoming show, which I believe is set for this year. I don't think it's confirmed.
I thought it was.
Well, I mean, it was at one stage. I don't think it's officially confirmed as a date yet. I think they're looking at November, but I think and I think we see Ed Norton as archive footage, but I think the big split with him and Marvel, I think they're not going to want to bother with trying to make a deal with him, even though he may not be doing anything. It's still, I think he's one of those actors that I don't think they're going to want to try and get back.
Yeah, right. Well, Moose, what do you think?
I think we 100% will get a version of the Hulk on the Defenders team for Doctor Strange, the Defender Strange.
Okay.
I personally think it would be a lot of fun to see Eric Bana back. Again, he's not doing anything. He's probably a lot easier to work with than Norton. Yeah, I mean, I think if you read anything about Norton, he's a bit of a prick. I hope he's watching the show. But I think if we get any version of it in the Defenders universe, it would be a lot of fun to see the Eric Bana version of Hulk show up. You know, the little bulkier, angly, does movements kind of thing. But I think 100% we're going to get a version of a Hulk, and it will be part of the Defender Strange team.
Yeah. Well, I think that we had a pretty big mix, but I heard mostly a 25. So I think I'm going to put these three here as a 25. The other ones will be 0. So I'll put that one in a 0, that one in a 0. But then we'll do 25 for these ones, I think. Let's see. While I move that. I mean, actually, I could just grab them all at once here, but let's see.
And this is where Jordan regrets doing a lot of characters.
Yeah, right.
800 of these characters.
Yeah, right.
Zero's going to fill up real fast.
I will say, I think there's a 0% chance we get Amadeus Cho. I think they'll explore that character down the line. They've already introduced his sister, Helen Cho, in Avengers: Age of Ultron. So there's a chance that they could bring that back down the line, but I think we get 0 chance of Amadeus.
Oh, is Doctor Strange going to be in this movie? 100%.
Well,
I'm pretty confident about that.
Is that Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Doctor Strange?
No, what it is it so like I was like 99.9% sure it's going to be automatic no, but it's Joaquin Phoenix because he was once rumored to be Doctor Strange. So I just put that in there, but I'm pretty sure we just throw it right in.
Nah, he's a busy man.
That's just a fun one.
Yeah. Cumberbatch he's Marvel's favorite, so I don't think he had any chance. I think he will play every variation of himself.
Yes. I think if there's another version of Doctor Strange that's a different actor, they might try to find a way to bring back one of the Doctor Strange that was in the 70s movie.
Now available from Scream Factory and limited for a limited time.
Oh, nice.
That 78 Doctor Strange TV movie.
Yeah, well, for the X-Men here, we'll go with each iteration. And you can just say what your percentage is. Do you think any of them are going to show up, and who do you think will show up? So we'll start with the ones from the original X-Men movies here with Patrick Stewart, that whole cast. So and I believe I'm up first for this one, and I think that will obviously there's 100% a chance with Professor Xavier, and I think that there's a good chance because Hugh Jackman, he loves working with Patrick Stewart. Like that's what got him to come back for Logan, and I think that there's a chance that we see him. I don't know if we see him in like full on like Wolverine kind of like berserker mode or anything like that. You might see him wearing some kind of suit, so maybe he's not as like jacked as he once was. But yeah, so I think that we see those two characters. I'm gonna say 100% Xavier, 75% Logan, and I don't really think we see any of the rest of them unless we get a group shot. Like if we get like a group shot of all them together, kind of like how we got in Deadpool 2. You got a group shot of like some of the X-Men. You may get that, but that's what I'm predicting. So, Steven, what do you think?
Well, I think we already know that Patrick Stewart's in the movie because we hear his voice in the trailer.
Yep.
So, yeah, I would say.
And he pretty much confirmed it in an interview. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 100% for Xavier, I would say. See, the thing about Hugh Jackman is he said before that he's done with the character, and I guess he could still show up in a cameo, but would he bulk up again when
he doesn't have to. He can just wear the leather jacket, just be Logan. He doesn't have to bulk up, take his shirt off.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
He says he has to be, in the shape he was for the Wolverine, when he was in stupid, ridiculous shape. Yeah. He doesn't have to be.
I'll still go like 25%. I think if there's anyone else besides Xavier, maybe Ian McKellen. I'll give him a 50%.
Actually, I should have mentioned that. I think Ian McKellen actually. I think that Magneto is 100% because of its connection Wanda, but as to which version it's going to be, I'm not sure, but I think 100% that we're going to see a version of Magneto in this thing. But Malcolm, what do you think?
Well, here's the thing. It's with Ian McKellen or Magneto specifically, and unless they would have to retroactively go backwards with that and try to find a way to explain how they're suddenly related to Magneto, because I think they're pretty much set up in here that they're not related to Magneto. It's going to be really tricky to suddenly make them related. But that being said, even though, yes, we hear Patrick Stewart's voice in the trailer, I'm still not convinced it's Professor X. I think Patrick Stewart is in their movie playing a different character that is yet to be revealed. I think if there was going to be specifically Professor X, they wouldn't have ruined it in a trailer for that for sure. But that being said, I'm still going to go 100% on this lot because, one, there is a picture going that I've seen which has Hugh Jackman standing beside Kevin Feige. So I think there's a chance that Hugh Jackman will come back as Wolverine in a cameo for maybe one last ride. So
yeah, and also
obviously not the permanent Wolverine. So.
Yeah, right. We're gonna bring up also too on the John Campea show. I know Robert Meyer at Burnett. He brought up the possibility of like having Wanda. She becomes the villain at some point, and then after all the chaos at the end of the movie, you have Magneto just come out of the sky, and he just comes down and he just grabs his daughter, Wanda, and just takes her away, and he says, and maybe he has just a couple of quick lines of some dialogue there, but he just takes her, and then off into the sunset they go. So I think that'd be a pretty cool way to end it. So
also the other thing I'm going to throw out there is there is a rumor going around that Halle Berry is potentially going to appear, because apparently in some junket or something that she appeared in for one of her other movies, that she did have a different hairstyle, and apparently it had white in it. So I think there's a rumor going around that she might appear.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. So, Moose, what do you think?
Let's not forget that WandaVision took Evan Peters and then gave us Ralph Boner.
Yeah,
right, not Quicksilver.
Yeah.
So I tend to agree a little bit with Malcolm in that Marvel is great at the bait and switch, right? The rope-a-dope, whatever you want to call it. They're great at presenting something in this hand, but then delivering something else in this hand. That being said, I think there will be 0 mutants besides Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, because if there was one being in all of the multiverse who could link together an Illuminati, a secret society behind the curtain pulling strings, it would be Professor X. Now, is he going to be the Professor X from like the X-Men universe that we know? Absolutely not. I think we get 0. I would love to see Halle Berry show up as Storm. I would love to see Jackman show back up as Wolverine. Absolutely love Jackman to show back up as Wolverine. But I think that we get a Professor Xavier, and I think that is the only hint at mutants, because this version of the MCU has yet to present its foot forward with the mutants. And if they're going to establish their own X-Men, it cannot be tied to any other iteration of the X-Men. I think we will get a mutant tease with Professor X in the form of Patrick Stewart, and I think we get 0 other mentions of any mutants until Marvel decides that it's time to be able to present and now start establishing mutants in the MCU. So 100% Patrick Stewart, 0% anybody else.
We have a theory about that, though, that might explain why the mutants are why they're in this universe and why they've been there the entire time. But we'll get to that in a minute when we talk about some other versions of the X-Men. But Austin, what do you think?
100 for Professor X, about 25 for everybody else. I'll give it a smidge. A smidge.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put it up here just for the Professor X thing. So we'll at least have that. So we'll put it up in the 100. But and then do we think anyone's going to show from the first class cast, the Fassbender McAvoy? So well, we got your thought, but we'll start with Malcolm. What do you think?
I'm going to go 25% on this. Because I think if we do get a version of Magneto, I think the one that would make sense if they are going to do some kind of retroactive "I am your father" moment, I think Michael Fassbender is probably the one that's going to make the more sense, just because of the age and all that. Because I don't think Ian McKellen makes a lot of sense. But that being said, I'm still 25% on anyone from here.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think for this cast of X-Men?
There were a few inspired castings in the first class. I don't think we get any of them in the MCU. So I think it's 0% that anybody from the first class. I like Malcolm's take. I would love for Fassbender to show back up again, because again, him as a young Magneto was solid casting. But I think it's come and gone, and I don't think we're going to get anything more from these guys. So I think 0% on this.
Well, Austin, you already give your thoughts. No,
I think 0 for first class. Unfortunately, as much as I love that stuff, they even had their little cameos in that Deadpool movie. So no.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only things I could think of is having the Magneto from Fassbender. I mean, I think that it could work to have maybe a Beast character show up. It could work. I don't think it's going to happen, but there could be a way to make that work. But yeah, I think that I mean, Fassbender, I'd go 50%, I'd say, but for the rest of them, 0.
Yeah, but with your theory, would it make sense for somebody like Fassbender, who's still relatively young, to show up as Wanda's dad? It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Who knows? I mean, they could make it any form of the character. They could age him up a little bit. And
that's what I mean. They could age him up a little bit and all that.
They didn't even bother to age him up for Apocalypse. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah.
Or not Apocalypse, the Dark Phoenix movie. They didn't even bother, and he's supposed to be 10 years away from Ian McKellen looking. They didn't even bother.
I mean, if Jude Law can suddenly get all disheveled and become Richard Harris in the Wizarding World, anything is possible.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And also too, with a lot of X-Men stuff, they just expect you to just roll with it. They just have storylines and you just roll with it. So it's who knows?
Well, that was how Fox handled them. MCU,
yeah, that's how Fox handled it. True. Yeah, that's not Marvel, but Steven, what do you think for the first class?
Elizabeth Olsen is 33 and Michael Fassbender is 45. That's you can age him up a little bit and make it doable.
Yeah,
I like Malcolm's take. I'll say 25%.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna put it in the 25% just for Fassbender, but that's it. It's not really representing anyone else, really.
Also, I think it'd be cool if you had Patrick Stewart X phoning Mystique, and it's Jennifer Lawrence. You got Jennifer Lawrence literally phoning in.
Yeah, right. She's back and she's phoning it in. Yeah, literally, yeah. But yeah, so now we're gonna talk the X-Men 97, the animated one, because you do see an animated universe of some sort in the trailer. Who knows what that is? But we'll start with Moose this time. What do you think?
So I actually think there's a pretty decent chance that the X-Men 97, and I say that because they're starting to now once again sell X-Men 97 new comics, right? So they're revamping a little bit, and they're about to bring back the cartoon. Maybe I think the What If universe gave us enough animated content that you could satisfy that, but I'll give this a 25%. But maybe this is, you see some of the X-Men in the background of that animated sequence.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what do you think?
I'm not going to go 100, but I'm going to go 75 because I think it would be a hell of a tie-in. The fact that they're relaunching all this shit, and it'd be a perfect way to show that there's animated multiverses out there. So why not 75?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to say 75 too, because I like on the John Campea show as another Robert Meyer Burnett take. Like I kind of have agreed with some of his takes that Wanda sent all the mutants all to the animated world, and that's what they've been all this time, and we're finally going to see that. So like that's what they've been. You wonder where the mutants, why they haven't ever spoken mutants. That's where they've been. But so I'm just gonna roll with that theory, and I'm gonna say 75%. So, Steven, what do you think?
I'll go 25%, but I don't remember seeing anything in the trailer. So if I had seen, maybe I would go higher. But for now, 25%.
Get these people that like do a frame by frame thing online, and they like freeze frame everything. It's like one of those things.
Yeah, that's how I noticed it, because I didn't see it either until someone freeze framed it. Yeah, but Malcolm, what do you think?
Yeah, I think if I remember rightly, there was a scene where Doctor Strange is about to jump through a whole bunch of doors. You see a door open, and it's clearly an animated. It's a really small part of that scene, but there's clearly animated. That's literally all it was. I kind of like the theory of that Wanda sent all the mutants to the animated world. I'm not gonna go as high as 100% because of that. I am gonna go 25 though.
Yeah. Well, since we got a couple of 75, I think we got it.
Well, no, there was 3 for 25 and 2 for 75, so I think it goes to 25.
Oh, there's 3 for. Okay. Then it goes.
To Moose said 25. Said 25.
Yeah. Then we'll do 25, and then so we have Blade. You guys think either of the Blade iterations could show it? Because there's Mahershala Ali that's rumored. Well, it's actually I think confirmed to be it, but they haven't done anything with it.
Mahershala Ali's confirmed to be Blade.
Yeah. So I'll start with Austin. Do you think it will see?
I don't see any use for Blade in this movie, honestly. Even in alternate things, there's no reason. Wesley Snipes doesn't even look like Blade anymore. I don't see him bothering with that. And Ali, I think they're just saving him for more of a post credit or some setup in a different movie. So no, I'm going to say 0 for both.
Yeah, I think that's how you introduce Mahershala Ali in a post-credit scene, but not in this movie. It's going to be in something else. So I'm going to say 0 for Blade. Yeah. Steven?
I'll go 0 for Wesley Snipes, but I'll go as high as 25 for Ali.
Yeah. Sounds good. Malcolm, what do you think?
Does Mahershala Ali have any taxes he needs to pay?
But
that being said, I'm going to go 0% for either one of these. And I think if we do get to tie in with Wesley Snipes here for a minute, I think if we do get a version of Black Panther, and if it is going to be T'Challa, and if they want to play into this person could have played this person type thing, Wesley Snipes was going to be playing Black Panther in the 90s before he became Blade. So I think but that being said, I still think it's 0%. The Blade movie's not nowhere near anywhere at the moment. It's just still to be announced, so 0%.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
I cannot wait for Mahershala Ali to be Blade. He's the perfect Blade. And this is my hot take. I think Wesley Snipes in the MCU version of Blade will play the new Whistler. That's just my thought process. But in terms of either of these fuckers being in this movie, there's 0%.
Yeah. 0. Yeah. We'll throw them there. But for the next one,
I was about to say, like, if we get a Blade cameo anywhere, I think there could be a somewhat chance we may see a version of Blade pop up as a cameo at the end of Moon Knight. I think, if anything.
Yes, I agree 100%. 100%.
Yeah. But next one are the Inhumans, and I have both versions of the Black Bolt because Vin Diesel has been rumored. I think it's almost 0%, but he has been a rumor, and also Anson Mount who played it, and because he Black Bolt's character has been pretty heavily rumored and been connected with the Illuminati, and then I have anyone else from the Inhumans. So, Austin, what do you think?
I think Marvel and Feige has even said he's trying to pretend like Inhumans didn't even happen and it wasn't existed. So 0 for all of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that there's a 25% chance we see Black Bolt just because of his connection to the Illuminati, but I think it's 0 for everything else. And I'm not even sure which version. I think that actually could be someone we don't even know yet. It could be some new actor playing him. So, but Steven, what do you think?
I've never actually even seen the Inhuman show when it aired.
It's not worth it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'll go. I know nothing about them. I'll go 0%.
Yeah. Malcolm, what do you think?
I'm gonna go 0% on this because, as Austin said, I think they're trying to pretend the Inhumans didn't exist. I mean, how if they're not going to make Ms. Marvel an Inhuman in her show, they're not going to bring in the Inhumans. There's no reason for them at the moment. But I think, but that being said, I think if they do bring in Black Bolt in the shot in the of the Illuminati, it's going to be Vin Diesel because they want to show him on screen, but you're not going to hear him talk about family.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And also, you having playing dual roles because he's also the voice of Groot. So yeah. But Moose, what do you think for Inhumans?
Blackabar Bolt again, which is also known as Black Bolt, is an integral part of the Illuminati, right?
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I agree 100% with Malcolm. If Miss Marvel is not going to be an Inhuman, and you see how many people are pissed about that, then I think it's very tricky to introduce an Inhuman. That being said, Vin Diesel will line up for any role that he will be a superhero in, right? We all saw his last venture at trying to become a superhero. It was a horrible movie, right? But he's got a good thing going on with Marvel. He was originally in talks to become Black Bolt. If you go back a million years ago, Vin Diesel was still tweeting that he was going to be playing Black Bolt.
Yep.
Well, it didn't work out, and they made a side deal with him where he was going to voice Groot, right? Vin Diesel would love, even if it's just in a cameo role, to show up as a superhero. I think there's 100% chance that we get Vin Diesel as Black Bolt. There will be zero mention of Black Bolt being an Inhuman. I think they are going to stay a million miles away from the term Inhuman. But it would just be funny to see Vin Diesel sitting there wearing the Black Bolt outfit, unable to speak, because if he speaks, he destroys everything, right? So I do think there's 100% chance that we get Vin Diesel as Black Bolt. Black Bolt, not the Inhuman, just Black Bolt.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't that sum up most of Vin Diesel's acting career as well? If he speaks, he destroys his
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Malcolm, yes.
Yes. Well, Malcolm, what'd you say for Vin Diesel? Like what percentage?
I said 0% on any of them. So
okay, you said 0. Well, we did have a 25% and a 100. So why don't we just average Vin Diesel to like 50? We could do that.
Yeah,
and just put it up there for Vin Diesel only. So, yeah. All right. So now we're gonna get into the Spider-Man characters. We'll start there. So, what percentage do you think any character from the Spider-Man universe might appear in it? And as you can see, I have Miles Morales. I have Mary Jane. I have a bunch of the other auxiliary characters in here, so you can just give your thoughts if you think anyone will appear from the Spider-Man universe. So, and I think that I'm first on this one. So, I think there's 100% chance we get Tobey Maguire because of the connection to Sam Raimi. I think that they're absolutely going to do a Spider-Man 4. I think that's actually going to happen. So I'm going to predict that here. And I think that the 25% on any of the other Spider-Man characters, I think that Happy showing up could be a 25%. And I say 0 for literally anyone else from the Spider-Man universe. So, but Steven, what do you think?
I'll go 50% for Happy and 0% for everyone else. Mostly out of wishful thinking, not because I don't like them, but because I want a whole movie to explore everyone not knowing who Spider-Man and Peter Parker is.
Same.
I don't want them.
I really want that.
I don't want them fixing that, like, you know, in this movie when it's not going to be a major plot point.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say 0% for everyone other than Happy.
Yeah, sounds good. Malcolm, what do you think?
I'm going to say 25% on Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, just because of the Raimi connection. 0% on Andrew Garfield, 0% on Tom Holland, 25% on Miles Morales because of the animated part of it.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go 25% on Emma Stone, but not as Gwen Stacy, but as Spider-Gwen.
Yeah.
Because
there you go.
So I know there was a rumor that she was going to appear in No Way Home as Spider-Gwen. I think they might satisfy that rumor. And I'll say 50% on Happy, but 0% everyone else.
Yeah. Sounds good. Moose, what do you think for any of these Spider-Man characters?
I think 0% chance on any of the actual Tobey Maguire. He's had his day. He had his revamp as Peter Parker. I think there's 0% on him. I think there's 0% on Andrew Parker, and I think there's 0% on Tom Holland. I like Steven's take. I like the idea of including a movie where nobody knows Tom Holland's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I think Happy Hogan is done in the MCU. I think Jon Favreau is too. I do think there was a kind of a one little tiny conversation in Far From Home where Electro is talking to Andrew Garfield's character and says, "I thought you were black." And he says, "There's got to be a universe out there where there's a black Spider-Man." And he just kind of shrugs and they both laugh. Mm-hmm. I think this is where we're going to get Miles Morales. I actually think there's a very good chance. There's a very, very good chance that the animated sequence actually is footage from the Spider-Verse. I'm going to go like 50% that this is the introduction. At this point, because of the Spider-Verse movie, and it's Sony and Marvel are buddies with each other, right? Which means that Marvel opens up their checkbook and signs it, and Sony's like, okay, let's do this. So I think that there's a chance that we could be introduced to a multiversal Spider-Man that is Miles Morales, because he's already proven to be that in the Spider-Verse, right? So he could translate from an animated universe into a live-action universe. So I like the idea of this movie potentially introducing a Miles Morales. I think we get 0 other Spider-Man references and or characters.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin, what do you think?
Sam Raimi's directing this movie. 100% Tobey Maguire shows up in it because I think he just kept the damn Spider-Man suit on, went right over the Doctor Strange set and filmed a cameo. Just me personally. While he was doing it, 25% for Miles Morales, 0 for anybody else.
Yeah. Well, got a couple for Tobey Maguire. I don't know if it's majority though, but the Miles Morales though can go in 25.
I think we had 2 for because I think you said 100% for Tobey Maguire as well, didn't you? So So Toby's going into 100%.
Oh yeah, we can throw him up there. Yeah. Yeah. So
everyone else is 0. Though.
Everyone else is 0. Yeah. Oh, and then probably happy for 0 too. I mean, we had a couple that said he was 50%. So I mean, we could throw happy.
I think if you put happy, I think happy will be happy to be even 50. So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Would you like the take on the Spider-Gwen though? I think that could be something potentially. So
that would be a lot of fun. I think I love Emma Stone.
Dude, there's a lot of
I don't know if she would come back as Spider-Gwen, but it's a fun thought. I would love it if it was true, but
I'll get rid of half the list.
I feel like Spider-Gwen will be. I feel like Spider-Gwen will be a big deal in the MCU, and I think that's going to wait a little bit longer until we get a Miles Morales, or even possibly in the next Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think if we get Miles Morales, I think maybe we get a Spider-Gwen as well, voiced by Hedy Steinfeld. But I'm not going to try and predict that one.
Yeah.
But because, I mean, it could be a way they're going to tie in Doctor Strange with the upcoming Spider-Verse movie. So
yeah, and I'm just going to pose an overall general question. Does anyone think that we see any of the other Spider-Man villains show up again, or Madam Web, because we do have a Madam Web movie that's confirmed for next year. So I included Madam Web here, which is going to be played by Dakota Johnson. It's been confirmed. So does anyone have any thoughts, or I'll just throw them in 0?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
I mean, look. If we don't really get a Spider-Man in this, I don't think there's a reason for the villains to be there.
Yeah, right,
agreed.
Right. Yeah,
and I think Madam Web is dead on arrival.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw Morbius, but trying to make your own Spider-Verse there, Sony.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's pretty.
Cash that check and sign it over to Marvel.
Yeah. So,
as far as I know, it's officially been dated. So.
Yeah, it's officially been dated. But so what do we think the potential from anyone from the Loki series showing up? I have Loki, Mobius, and Sylvie on here, so we'll go around with those. So we'll start with Steven. What do you think for anyone from the Loki series showing up?
I'd say 50%. I mean, given that they, whatever's going on with the multiverse, they probably have something to do with it because of what happens at the end of Loki.
Yeah,
50%.
You think all 3 of these characters are going to show up? Loki, Mobius, and Sylvie?
I would love it if Owen Wilson showed up. I think I think that's less. He's less likely than the other 2.
Yeah. Well, Malcolm, what do you think?
100% on Loki and Sylvie. 25% on Mobius, only if we get Mobius on a jet ski.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There's actually some fan art that you can find with Owen Wilson riding around on a jet ski that's out there. That's pretty great. But
I love that. I love that prediction, Malcolm.
Yeah. Moose, what do you think?
I think of the Loki characters, I think we will get Jonathan Majors as Kang. I think we'll absolutely encounter him. He's not one of these slides here, but I absolutely think that they will encounter a version of Kang, because Kang is going to be the next bad guy. Oh, yes. Okay. He's down the line. Okay. Yeah. So then of the Mobius, Loki, and Sophie, I don't think we see Sophie until the next season of Loki or Mobius. I think there's a 50% chance we get Tom Holland
Tom Hiddleston.
Thank you. Hiddleston as Loki. So I think a 50% chance there. I think a 0% chance for the rest of them.
Yeah.
So many actors at a Tom H.
Right.
Someone get Tom Hanks on the line. I think there's a role for Tom Hanks in the MCU.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. but Austin, what do you think?
I didn't watch Loki. I watched all of WandaVision, hated it. Watched half of Falcon Winter Soldier, tapped out. I've given up on the Disney shit. It's not in my bag. I don't like any of it. So
Loki was
I don't know. Loki bounces around a lot, so sure, 50%. I don't know. They seem to like him. Everybody else, I don't know what any of those names mean, so I don't know. Whatever you guys think.
Well, Sylvie is like an alternate, like female version of Loki. Basically, is like what she is. So, but
whatever you got, I'll defer to you guys on that because I haven't watched the show. So
yeah, I'm gonna say that there's 100% chance for Loki and Sylvie. I think that they're both gonna show up. I think for Mobius, I'd go more like a 25% chance. So, but I think we got enough to put the two Lokis up at the 100. I don't know. Did anyone vote for Owen Wilson showing up? Did anybody else?
I don't. I mean, I said 25% for Owen Wilson. I think 25% for Owen Wilson is probably where John ended there.
That sounds good. We got Sylvie showing up.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But if you haven't seen the Loki series, like even if you don't like some of the like other Marvel stuff, like it's like pretty different. I think that it's like.
I mean,
I haven't liked anything I've seen so far. Like none of it I've liked so far. I don't think anything else is going to change my mind. None of it.
I was actually disappointed in Loki because it doesn't really have an ending.
We'll go 25.
The last two episodes of Loki. Let me rephrase that. Last 3 episodes of Loki were fantastic. The first couple ones didn't get.
But it's all set up and no payoff. And I know we get the payoff later on. But even when a show does something like that, there's usually some kind of payoff.
Hawkeye is the best Disney Plus show. I'm just saying. Just saying. And I love Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I love Falcon Cap. Give it to me all day.
Yeah. I mean, I'd argue about what if being the best show.
Oh damn! I forgot that's canon. That's a good one.
This next round, I'm going to have to build.
Sure. Yeah. Sounds good.
How many more characters do we have?
Yeah, I got about 20 minutes.
Yeah, we gotta start wrapping this up. Yeah, we're cutting on 2 hours. Like I would almost just say let's just scroll and see if there's any others that have a good probability, and we skip everything else. Honestly, I think we're getting to the point where I don't think there's going to be a lot more. Let's just see what's still available.
Yeah,
and I think maybe at this point we'll nominate.
Yeah. Well, what's still available? I mean, like. We have like Galactus. If anyone thinks that's gonna happen, we have
not in this one.
Not in this one.
I think Aaron Taylor Johnson is Quicksilver. Yes.
And
I think White.
I would say 100% for Pietro.
Yeah, I think 100% for Pietro, and I think 100% for White Vision.
Yes, I'd agree.
For White Vision. So on the ones
I'm inclined to.
We say yes to. I'm gonna put them near the top for now.
I'm inclined to go 100% on Deadpool.
I want that so badly.
Same.
So badly.
I think if they're gonna do Deadpool showing up in the MCU somewhere, I think him popping in for some kind of multiverse weird cameo and just being like, "What the hell is going on? Who are you, Mr. Wizard?" You know what I mean? Like, I think is a good possibility. I would almost say 100% for Deadpool.
Once again, if we go back to the poster, some people have claimed to see his eye in one of those.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, we could throw it up there just.
Yeah.
I think 100% we get James Spader as Ultron too.
Oh yeah, that's on here. Down, I think it's.
I mean,
no, I think that's.
I don't know about that. What if it's because if you're gonna have Paul Bettany, what if it's the what
that's
if
probably him? I think. Yeah. Okay. I think that's. Just hard to really.
I mean, it very well could be.
Yeah.
I think no matter what, Voltron will be voiced by James Spader. I think that. This version of Ultron is the superior Iron Man universe where he created the suit of armor around the world. Either way, I think it's still going to be voiced by James Spader as a little nod to the Marvel purists.
Yeah.
And who's that one under Galactus? Is that War Machine?
Yeah,
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, I wouldn't bet on for the same reason as
Terrence Howard shit all over Marvel. There's no way he's got it.
Yeah, no way.
I thought looking at an extreme world, like I always thought that'd be cool to have 2 dual like roadies flying around, but yeah, it's not gonna happen.
I'm inclined to say there's probably a good probability of Captain Marvel because once again, in the trailers, you see someone that looks like a Captain Marvel, whether or not it's Carol Danvers one.
I'm going to challenge. Okay, I'm going to issue a little bit of a challenge on that. I do think that there is going to be a Captain Marvel-esque type person. I think it's going to be Photon, and I think Latasha Lynch will be back as Monica Rambeau, and she'll be that version of
Monica
Captain
Rambeau.
Marvel.
Yep, I would agree with that. And I also think that like in the trailers, you see America Chavez too in the trailers too.
Well, I mean, America Chavez 100%. She's confirmed. I don't think we need to put her in.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like, is it really that character? Do we know yet? Because she hasn't been totally introduced. So like,
here's my thought on Bruce Campbell. I think Bruce Campbell is the Minotaur that we've been seeing in the previews. I think that's the character he's playing. It's
it's a Sam Raimi movie. Bruce Campbell will be in it in some capacity. It's a Sam Raimi movie. Bruce Campbell will show up.
I'm calling it. He is the Minotaur like wizard at Hermitage.
No, here's the thing. We're going to get 4 versions of Bruce Campbell, right? You're going to get Snooty Usher. You're going to get wrestling announcing.
We're gonna go with it.
The other one, and also you're going to get Ash Williams.
Okay, if he shows up in Ash Williams, Malcolm, I'm sending you a bottle of whiskey. That's the best prediction I've ever heard.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, why can't it be Ash Williams fighting the Marvel zombies? That would be the shit.
That would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great.
Love that.
And there's 100% chance that we're going to run into Jonathan Majors as Kang. 100%. He's the next big baddie. And the story at the end of Loki is that the Earth 616 version of Kang is actually the tamest one. He's defeated the other versions of Kang and kept them out. So I think that Jonathan Majors for sure is going to spill into one of these realities because Kang apparently exists in every reality and he's an asshole in every one of them. So I think there's 100% chance. I don't think he's going to be the major villain. I think that we absolutely will see him though, because he's Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantonium. He's the main baddie there. But I think for sure we're going to see him in this iteration.
Yeah, the other one that I saw very briefly that when you went down is Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher. I think with how he was in What If, I think there's a.
I know he's here somewhere.
He's on the right side, right column.
There we go.
I gotta go, guys.
Oh sure, yeah. You have anything you want to plug really quick before you head out?
I mean, I'll be back on this channel obviously on Friday for the action movies from 2010s to now.
Yeah. We'll look forward to having you back for that one, Steven. Thanks for joining us. So yeah.
See you, man.
See ya.
Have a good day.
Yeah. But now, what do you guys think of the possibility of both Quicksilver showing up doing like a slow-mo scene together? You know, like how they have those in the X-Men stuff. Like that would be freaking awesome. I
think like if there is someone from First Class, I think that's. Because I mean, let's face it, they got Evan Peters back for something in the MCU. So
yeah, right. So I kind of think that.
So I think
I'd give that one a 25. I'd give like Pietro 100 and maybe Evan Peters a 25, maybe.
Yeah, I think Aaron Taylor Johnson's 100%. We already have the MCU version of Evan Peters, and his name is Ralph Boner. So I don't see him playing any more than that. Marvel played their joke on us already.
But also look at
for sure Pietro.
Look at the Mandarin though. They had Trevor Slattery, and then he became a cool character in Shang-Chi. You know, so
that's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
They probably played that. They probably played that joke knowing that they were planning on putting him in.
Yeah, right.
I put nothing past Kevin Feige. That guy has got the greatest mindset, and
He does.
You know that there's 20 movies planned out ahead from this point on. So yeah, absolutely, I 100% agree. He's like, okay, listen, Shane Black, listen, you're gonna have to be the butt of the joke with the Mandarin. Don't worry, Trevor Slattery is gonna be super funny down the line.
Yeah.
One thing I want them to do, which I don't know if they will ever do, is I want in some movie to have a statue of Stan Lee, maybe in Avengers Tower or something, just in the background.
Cool.
So it's a permanent Stan Lee cameo in any future movies.
Yeah.
I do think that there's a better than good chance that we will see the Ancient One again. I would probably say 50 to 75% that there's a universe where she didn't perish and she's still the sorcerer supreme. And I know that this is kind of a weird one, but they're not on this list. I actually think there's a 25% chance that Thanos, Josh Brolin as Thanos, might be one of the members of the Illuminati in a universe in which he succeeded.
Well, yeah, because there's a version of him in the Illuminati in the comics. So yeah,
right.
Well, in the comics, doesn't Thanos become good at one point?
Yes, he becomes an Avenger.
yeah, right.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, what if we get the version of Thanos from What If, from the
the T'Challa universe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I kind of want, because I know that they won't be able to get Chadwick in, but if they do the animated What If universe in here, I want them to bring T'Challa Star-Lord back, but have him voiced by someone who voiced Black Panther in one of the cartoons.
Okay,
I think that'll be a good way to pay tribute to Chadwick without having someone else be Black Panther T'Challa.
Yeah, well, one of the other ones I think that they might see Darcy pop up, because she's the one in WandaVision that essentially kind of delivered White Vision. You know, she was a big part of WandaVision, so I feel like she might be in this thing. What do you guys think?
I mean, I like Darcy. I like to see her pop up. I don't see what I can't think of anything that she would be doing that would be of any use in Doctor Strange.
Well, make her super smart, some kind of scientist, so
I think that's already going to be covered with. I think Michael Stuhlbarg is going to play a larger role in this one. I actually think he's kind of going to be like the head of the Illuminati science team. And I'm not one to ever say less Kat Dennings, but I don't think she's going to be in this one.
Yeah, right.
0% chance. Yeah. I do think there's maybe a chance we see Agatha again, Catherine Hahn.
Yeah,
maybe a 25% chance that Scarlet Witch either encounters her in another reality or has been secretly kind of converting her back and forth to get advice.
Yeah, that is true. I'll give it a 25% chance at least. I mean, yeah.
And this was just a hope, but damn it, I want a good version of Doctor Doom, and I know Kevin Feige has this in his plans down the line.
Yeah,
but,
we'll put the 25.
Yeah.
Right there.
I know I said this in a debate with Jordan online, which is partly where this kind of came out of. We were talking about Fantastic Four. Is even if the Argo just going to be a cameo, good writing can make a difference sometimes when it comes to it. Because, I mean, look at how many people shat on the Amazing Spider-Man movies. But yet, when Andrew Garfield comes back in No Way Home's like, oh, God, give him another movie. It's like...
Yeah, right. Or
where were you
Electro.
Before?
I mean, they improved that character by a lot.
Exactly. So I think if we get a Doctor Doom, and if we do get a cameo of I want to say it's going to be Julian McMahon if we get anything.
Interesting.
Because just because his Doctor Doom is more close to the Doctor Doom I know, as in look for the comics. I kind of liked what his take on Doctor Doom, but I don't think he's going to appear in this movie anyway. But I think,
Julian McGinn would be a super interesting addition. Instead of Reed Richards, you have him on that pen. Boy, that would be something.
Yeah. Well, I think what I'm going to do is, unless anyone else has any other characters, I mean, we have 100% up until about the Ancient One, and then I think that we have Agatha at 25%, and I just want to move them up because when I post the question in the group chat, I want to do some screenshots of our tier list here just to see what people think of it, So
while you're doing that, we should do our plugs and stuff. While we're doing that, just so it's not dead here.
You guys can go ahead. I'm gonna start moving it up, but yeah, Moose, go ahead. Where can we find you?
So here's my favorite plug I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
May 13th. It's a Friday. I will be on this show. You guys are going to be doing my top 64 favorite movies, and it's going to be reviewed and critiqued by my own family members. My brother, my sister, my cousin, and my father will be sitting next to me while they're critiquing my top 64. So you're going to get the Hosses tearing apart my favorite 64 movies. May 13th, tune in, plus Austin and Jordan will be part of it. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be good fun. I've not looked forward to something like this in a very long time. I'm blessed with the gift of gab, but my brother and my sister, and you've obviously met cousin Ryan. He's fantastic. Yeah. All of these guys can chew the fat. They're all going to be fantastic.
So are you predicting a marathon show for your 64? Is that what we're predicting? So strap in.
I will say this, that most of the hostas have very similar tastes in movies, but there is going to be several movies where there will be a possible knockout brawl argument over the better of the two.
All right.
So, yeah, May 13th.
It'll be a good time.
Tune into this channel here. It's going to be great. Thank you guys again for doing that. That's such an honor. That'll be such a
good it's going to be fun. No, those are some of my favorite episodes because we never know what's coming. It's just like, there's no theme. It's just 64 random movies. We don't know what's going on. Like, you send Jordan the list, obviously, and he puts them into the brackets. But in the rest of the panel, we don't know what's happening. We get a mindset into, the movies that the person likes, and your prize, of course, is whatever comes up. You got to claim it as your new favorite movie, and you got to watch it within 24 hours.
Exactly. Yeah. We love doing those though because when you bring on people like that, you have great chemistry. So it just makes it more fun to just kind of talk with the people you enjoy, just hanging out, just shooting the shit about all these movies. So yeah, I think it'll be an awesome time. So looking forward to it. So. Awesome. Well, Malcolm, where can we find you?
You can find me on Take 3 Productions, hosting Rankum every Saturday night. Yesterday we did Nicolas Cage movies. Spoiler alert: Ghost Rider didn't make it on. It wasn't even brought up.
He's not a ghost protector.
Yeah. But next week we're going to be doing Francis Ford Coppola movies. The guy who directed one of the greatest trilogies of all time, the Godfather trilogy.
Maybe the best two movies.
Even though it lost out to Back to the Future in Malcolm's online polls he's doing, but yeah.
But yeah, you can find me there. You can find me all over the place. I think I'm back on Tuesday for one of the Jacobs top 64s. I think it's
it'll be Papa West. Yep. But in his top 64 on Monday. So.
And yeah, I'm all over the place. Wherever you find trivia, you find me.
Yeah. Yeah. And Austin, where can we find you?
Yeah, I mean, all over here. Obviously, I co-host most of these shows. We do a podcast about movies, myself and Jacob Barber, the Lonely Marks podcast on here, which is a wrestling podcast where we'll have a little fun. We'll do that Thursday night. We're doing our Fantasy Backlash card, so that'll be fun. Henry Confidential and I do Let's Rank stuff where we rank whatever we want. We had a bit of a hiatus, so we already did Paul Thomas Anderson last week. We did his whole filmography, but we're doing a belated 420 episode because we're a little bit late on it. But we're gonna rank all in one big ranking: the Friday trilogy versus the Harold and Kumar trilogy. So all those in one big six movie ranking. So and oddly enough, 2 trilogies that each feature a Christmas installment. So that'll be fun.
Yep. That's fun.
We're gonna do a couple edibles for that episode, right?
I don't have any available because I'm in North Carolina, which still doesn't have anything legalized yet. So, which is ridiculous, given the fact that I'm 10 minutes from Asheville, which you would think, would have influenced that by now, but no. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think that the main thing for me with this episode was it's fun to rank them, but I know that we have like more characters than we can really handle here. So it was just mostly about the discussion. So it was fun to talk about and get hyped for this movie. So I'm really looking forward.
Tickets available now, right? Anybody got their tickets already?
Yeah.
It's weird. So in San Dimas, California, I see all this stuff online all the time about people who struggle to get tickets. In San Dimas, California, I've never struggled to get a release ticket on the first day ever.
I've never struggled either, but I'm in Hendersonville, North Carolina. I've never had a problem, but even when I lived in Jacksonville, I never had a problem. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's
Bill and Ted got it right.
Yeah, I don't know.
San Dimas is the place to view movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I live in New Zealand. It's really not hard to get a ticket.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I think I'm gonna see it here with my family because my birthday's coming up next Saturday. So me and my dad, his birthday 2 days before mine, so we always celebrate together. So we're gonna go see that, and then I got some other tickets to see it a week later. I'm driving up to Boise. They got a 4DX theater up there now, so I'll see it in 4DX again. So that'll be fun to kind of experience it that way. So, but
Malcolm, if there's a chance that I'm either going to be going to Oktoberfest in Germany this year, but if that ends up getting canceled, then I'll be going to New Zealand at the end of this year. If it's not this year, then next year I'll be going to New Zealand. We're going to Queenstown and then probably to Hamilton. Where are you located in New Zealand?
I live in Dunedin, which is probably about a 2-hour drive from Queenstown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I will let you know when we're out there. Maybe come join us at the Twin Paddocks, Sam Neill's winery.
Yeah.
First drink will be on me. How about that?
Hey, you know what most I'm enjoying about these new movies coming out sometimes? On Thursday, the May 5th, technically the night of the release, my theater's starting showtimes at 3:00. That's wonderful. I love that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm one of those guys who back in Jacksonville, me and a buddy of mine, we used to go to all the midnight shows or 10:00 shows or whatever. On Thursday nights, we would go see a movie every Thursday night. But I kind of love that I can get off work at 2:00 and then go see like a 4:00 Doctor Strange. That sounds like a great idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and just
right.
like and still be home with plenty of time, to sleep that night. I don't have to be out late. Like, I'm getting old, man. So it's like, I don't want to be up till midnight watching these movies. These movies are long. So but seeing a movie potentially at like 3 or 4 o'clock and getting out and it's still light outside is kind of encouraging. I like that.
We're all old enough to remember when you used to see the movie the day before. It was at midnight the night before.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Like I saw The Dark Knight at midnight,
yeah.
When The Dark Knight came out, like it was the midnight show. So yeah.
Also Return of the King at midnight.
Yeah.
Right.
4 hours later, I got home.
Also, back in the day where you didn't have, we could select your seats ahead of time. You had to go line up for that stuff too, so that adds to it too. So,
yeah, I had to see Dark Knight at midnight and line up for my seat for Dark Knight, so I wasn't sitting in the front row at 10 p.m. that night. So I had to line up 2 hours. So it ended up being a 5-hour affair. Yeah, that's
a long time.
And I had to buy my tickets a week in advance at the box office at the theater because it wasn't around yet. So
once again, because we live in New Zealand, I get set a day before everyone else because our Thursday is your Wednesday.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
That's very true.
I am a good boy and I don't spoil shit.
That's good. We appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so I'll be taking the tier. I'm gonna actually finish moving all those the last picks up there. So I'm gonna have a screenshot. If anyone wants to have a screenshot of that, I'm more than happy to send it to you. But I will be posting it in the Facebook group, Shoutout Friends and Family. Try to get the community's take on our picks. And You can also find us all over the social medias at Movie Hero 2121. And just a couple episodes that we have coming up this week. We're doing Papa West's Top 64 that we already mentioned. And he sent me his list ahead of time. There's about 6 or 7. Oh, if you got to head out, yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I gotta go. Cheers, guys.
Yeah,
Thank you guys so much for
having me. Thank you, Moose. We'll see you on your 64, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Great.
We'll see you then. But yeah, so I got a little preview of Papa West's list. So there's about 6 or 7 that I haven't seen. I started watching one of those today, so I'm kind of doing a little prep. So I get that. If anyone else would like to see it, who's going to be on it, I'm more than happy to send it to our panel. But and then also we have best action movies from 2010 until now, because we starting our action movie series. So we got that coming up. We also have Jacob Barber's top 128. He's going to be doing a 3-part series for his 128, and he's actually doing it where it's going to be a surprise for me. He's going to make the tournament bracket, so I get to be surprised for once. So that's it will be fun. And then we have best action movies of the 2000s coming up, and then we also have best war movies coming up. So that's one of the original topics we have on the schedule. So that's pretty much a little preview of what we have going and where you can find us. So yeah, thanks again for indulging me for this kind of thing that I kind of put together. This is kind of like a personal thing that I really wanted to just come on and just talk about this movie, get hyped for it, because like normally, like with the first Doctor Strange movie, I wasn't like thrilled by it. I wasn't like super impressed. So when they announced this one, I was just like, oh, it's another Doctor Strange movie. And you keep hearing all these announcements, all these things that are potentially going to happen. I'm like, now I'm freaking like really excited for it. So yeah, so this was a fun time. So yeah, I think that'll do it for us tonight. So for Malcolm, for Austin, for Moose, for Steven, I've been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you guys next time.